The other thing that comes down with those C's is character. And putting those three together, it also comes down to your networking and interaction and your own personal brand, because when someone mentions your name to someone else, what do they say about you? That is your brand. So when you're on Facebook, be mindful that you're putting that out there, whether it's the photos or the comments, that's all forming part of your brand, part of who you are. I've got some young girls on my Facebook that have befriended me through the building side of things, and seriously, some of the comments that come from some of them, it's just, I shudder at what image they're putting out there of themselves. So you've got to be mindful that you are creating your own personal brand. And I have developed my own personal brand. Everything I do, every choice I make, every step I take, I have my own personal brand in mind. I'm working towards being a role model for women in non-traditional roles. And again, if I want to encourage women into the building industry, there's no good griping about it and having a bitch about it. There's no point saying we want this and we want that and we want equal rights and whatever, because you can't be whinging about it and be encouraging people in at the same time. So I choose not to try and fix the world. Let someone else do. That's what unions are for, and other associations. From my perspective, I'm just happy to encourage more women in and be more of a role model and a mentor. Beep. And on energy. This was our logo from the Women into Building project, which was women in construction, and the high heel was representing femininity, but also yin and yang. So we've got the balance. We created the balance. Beep. And we also called it a name that was very, very generic, so that when people do a website search, they actually come up with this project. So if anyone's looking for... In fact, there was a program that Eddie Maguire was doing, which was the IQ test, late last year, and the lady that was doing his research for him was looking for some females to be on the building team, and she's Googled women in building and came straight to our website and rang me. And it was a story we discussed yesterday, because she rang me but she wanted people from Victoria, so I managed to put her in contact with the National Association of Women in Victoria, and then they contacted a mutual person, which is Rudy from CPSISC, or Construction Property Services Industry Skills Council. Say that fast 3 times. And then he sent that back to me by the following morning. So when I spoke to this lady at 6 o'clock on the Thursday night, by 10 o'clock on the Friday morning, it had gone from me to Victoria, or from Adelaide, she was in Adelaide, to Queensland to Victoria, back to Canberra, back to me, and then I actually sent it back to her by 10:30 in the morning to let her know, see how how quickly the networking works. So, but that's all about branding, and that was my point there, that if I wasn't branded as being a somebody who knows people in my industry, it never would have made its way back to me. I can understand her finding it by accident, by Googling something in, but it didn't come back to me by accident, because I've branded myself. So just always keep that in mind, what you're wearing, how you're presenting yourself, who you're associating with, and the choices you're making. Make your choices with character and with strength of character, because that is creating your brand. Beep. Beep. This is the house. Beep. Does anyone have any questions that they'd like to ask of me just quickly, if we have got time? We don't have any questions? Nice and easy? Fire away. Beep. You can just go through these slowly if you like. Fire away.
Hi, I just want to know, did you have any major obstacles in your way to success?
Major obstacles, I would have to say no. And I think, we put up our own barriers for obstacles, and that's why I talk about courage, because I think we do have our own barriers, and the courage comes into play, because if I wanted to do a project like this, that took courage. If I was putting my own barriers up, but what if this goes wrong? What if that goes wrong? That's my career on the line. It's my partner's career on the line. It was our finances on the line and our business reputation on the line. This could not fail. So if we were too analytical and if we were too worried about putting too many barriers up and thinking to ourselves it won't work, we never would have done it. We didn't throw caution to the wind. We didn't jump off a cliff and think we'd fly. It was very well planned out, but at the same time, you have to have courage to move forward. You have to make those courageous decisions with character, with strength of character. So I wouldn't say I've actually had any major obstacles because I never perceived them as obstacles. I sort of see every mishap or difficult situation as an opening for an opportunity, because most of the discoveries come out of a need for something. So I always see that if there's a need for something, there's always an answer for it. So just even, building industry has been really, really slow since the financial crash. And I was at hospital one day with my son who'd broken his arm falling upstairs. And I just couldn't get over how everyone within the industries and so forth was just like really down because phone calls just stopped overnight, and yet everyone at the hospital was really happy. And what struck me was that they've got continuity. They don't have to worry about where their next dollar's coming from. They just continue to get paid. Their job's secure. So I actually wondered how could we make our business less reliant on the financial state of the community. And we ended up deciding to go into maintenance and insurance work. Because if you consider a real estate agent, if houses aren't selling, they're not making money. The only way they make money is because they've got rentals, and they make their 9% or whatever it is on the rentals every week. So that's their bread and butter. Regardless of whether they're buying or selling houses, they have a rental roll that just ticks over and pays their bills. So we figured if we could tap into those rental rolls and do the maintenance, we'd have our bread and butter as well that ties us over between building the larger houses and how many we've got. You want to keep your teams busy. If you're building 12 houses one year and then 6 another, you want to keep those teams busy. So it's just finding an opportunity and something that needs a fix and filling that role and seeing it as an opportunity.